As well as structural homologies, there are other kinds of homology which provide evidence that different living things may share a common ancestry. We looked at some examples of behavioural homology amongst waterfowl at the Wildfowl Trust Reserve at Martin Mere in Lancashire. This is a Coscoroba swan, a South American bird. Watch how one partner shows aggression, defending the nest against our camera crew. Wings raised threateningly, neck arched forward. A quite different bird, the Australian black swan, shows its aggression in exactly the same way. Look at the raised wings. A pair of mute swans, a Eurasian bird, displaying in the same way. Raised wings, feathers raised to make the neck look thicker. While the black-necked swan, another South American species, exhibits again the same aggressive gestures. And this nene, or Hawaiian goose, also shows the same neck posture and thickening when it guards the nest. This is a very aggressive species, and he's limping from some previous fight he's had. Different birds from quite different parts of the world, but all inheriting a common code of aggressive response. A more peaceful activity, bathing. This Chiloe widgeon from southern South America dips its head, flaps its wings, dips its head, flaps its wings. And this is exactly how other ducks of different species also bathe. The cinnamon teal, another South American duck. The white-winged wood ducks from Southeast Asia using the same bathing movements. And a Carolina drake from North America. The bathing motions are always head dipping, then wing flapping. This is a red-billed pintail from Africa. Preening the feathers also follows a very similar pattern across a wide variety of birds. The white-winged wood duck again. She stimulates a gland near her tail which secretes a waterproofing oil which is then rubbed off on the head and bill and used to anoint the feathers. This black-necked swan is using precisely the same motions. So are this New World ruddy duck and this rosy-billed duck. A falcated teal drake from Asia. And the Pacific Raja shell duck and drake. While ringed teal from South America use exactly the same technique. Nest building by swans and geese also illustrates behavioral homology. The black swan builds a nest by plucking off nearby vegetation and dragging it in to make a pile. This nest building technique is typical of swans and geese. The Coscoroba swan, from a quite different genus, builds the nest in the same way. Nest material is plucked from close at hand and pulled inwards. Nesting in the reeds, the black-necked swans have bitten off this clump of weeds to add to the nest pile. The Cereopsis, or Cape Barren goose from Western Australia, has inherited exactly the same nest-building. Sucked-off vegetation comes from close by, as you can see. Homologies in behaviour can provide clues relating quite different animals. The Chilean flamingo doesn't much resemble the waterfowl we've been watching, but its nest-building technique suggests a common evolutionary ancestry. The nest is a mud cup, and the mud is pulled in just as those swans and geese pulled in vegetation for their nests. Watch the bird in the middle. We turn next to a very different group of animals whose behaviour provides good examples of homology with our behaviour, again suggesting ancestral links. The primates, including the apes, like the orangutan, often appear almost human because they are in fact closely related to us. Look at the very human expressions of enjoyment on these youngsters' faces as they play together. And their need for mutual security and group cohesion shown by the way they walk off together. Nearby, and again at Chester Zoo, a group of chimpanzees. This group of animals includes individuals of all ages. The adults exhibit a clear-cut hierarchy. The oldest animals are very much the bosses and will not tolerate interference by other adults. The youngsters, however, as in human society, are tolerated by their elders simply because they are youngsters. Watch this youngster tease this senior member of the group and get away with it. An adult plays with a youngster, tickling him and making him giggle. Just as adult humans tolerate, indeed encourage and protect their children, so do these apes, revealing very tellingly their kinship with us. And here a young chimp defuses a potentially aggressive situation when the adult takes offence at some behaviour by another adult in the group. Certain facial expressions are shared by apes and ourselves so that they can interpret our facial signals. This pig-tailed macaque is an aggressive animal. Watch how he reacts to an aggressive expression put on by a human being. There are many other instances of behavioural homologies between different animals which, like structural homologies, are best explained on the evolutionary hypothesis that the animals are connected by descent from common ancestors. At the California Institute of Technology in Pasadena, something different. Work on proteins, which reveals further evidence for an evolutionary descent from common ancestors. This solution contains one of the